Much for your testimony. We'll now move to questions by the committee's members, and we'll begin with Mr. Tiffany.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Mr. Hamilton, I'd like to add a story from northern Wisconsin in my district. Stephen Nashholm is dead. He is dead today. Just died a month ago when a second-time DWI offendant who was here illegally in America, got his first DWI a little over a year ago, allowed to skate, not detained, and now a father of 3 daughters in northern Wisconsin is dead as a result of what is going on down at the southern border. So I think I'll start with you, Mr. Arthur. We heard from Mr. Reichlin-Melnick that we could be employing all these people that are here illegally in America. It seems like the most robust wage growth that happened for those people in the lower socioeconomic scale 4 years ago happened during the previous administration in like 20 or 30 years. Is that accurate?
It is, Mr. Tiffany. Wages amongst Hispanic Americans, African Americans increased during that period of time.
And we heard about these backlogs of people that want to come into our country legally. Does all of this, 10 million people at this point, does that help alleviate the backlogs that we have here?
Respectfully, I would disagree with Mr. Reichlin-Melnick. The pull factors that it creates encourage people to, even greater numbers of people to come here illegally, and in addition, and this is a problem that we're going to be facing for years to come right now, it creates smuggling networks that other nationals from countries far away from the United States, not traditional sending countries, can then use to come to this country.
Mr. Holman, we heard that enforcement has not worked. Administration after administration, enforcement has not worked. Is that your experience?
Absolutely not. There has to be a consequence. Look, you can't demand to have the right to claim asylum. I got a right to see a judge. You can get order removed, then we don't execute the order. If that's the case, shut down the immigration courts, take the Border Patrol off the border. There has to be a consequence. Entering this country illegally is a crime. It is not okay. So we have to execute final orders removal. And that's why lately there's been a lot of hate on, oh, Trump said he's going to run the biggest deportation operation in history. Well, he's going to have to, because we just went through the largest historic illegal immigration crisis we've ever seen, and 90% of these people lose their case and get order removal. They need to be removed.
Mr. Hamilton, I was recently down on the southern border and stopped at Casa Elitis, one of the links in the chain for illegal immigration here in America, the NGOs that are doing their work. Just first, I'd throw out to you generally, is it correct, my observation, that NGOs, along with the cartels, the United Nations, and our United States government are a critical link in this chain at this point of bringing people into our country illegally?
Absolutely. That's fundamentally true. There's absolutely no doubt about that based on my personal experience, observations in the past, and what's happening today.
Are you familiar with the story of the Red Cross passing out maps to illegal immigrants as they go through Central America and Mexico to show them their way here?
I've heard of such things, yes.
Is that, I would defer to the two gentlemen on the left. Isn't that accurate that that has happened?
Yes.
And the, isn't it also accurate that organizations like the International Organization for Migration, which I think we fund 25% of the United Nations, don't we? Something like that. Isn't it also accurate that they are passing out prepaid debit cards?
That's correct.
So the NGOs are a critical chain in this part of this whole chain for illegal immigration. What should we do in regards to those NGOs that are facilitating illegal immigration, that are a link in the chain? Go ahead.
Well, I think you need to stop funding them, first of all, because, you know, while there's thousands of empty ICE beds at about $117 a night, sitting empty. We'll pay an NGO to put them in a hotel room in New York City for $500 a night, 3 meals a day, free medical care, work authorization. I mean, you're rewarding illegal behavior. So I think, and when they're in ICE detention, the average length of stays is 35 to 40 days. When they get out, it'll be years.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to yield back. It seems like the NGOs are profiting off from this.